So today what I want to do is share about how to draw lines of support and resistance. Now you might be looking at this and looking at all these crazy lines, but I don't want to use this right now because I've been using that for my day trades. So there's been a lot of lines there. Okay, so what I want to do is 1 minute. Let's see if I can. How do I get my whiteboard? Yes. I might have to stop the screen share and open the whiteboard. All right. Hi, Savita, welcome.
Hi, Pastor Rexy. I'm sorry I'm late. I hope I haven't missed anything much.
No problem, no problem. Okay, so I hope you can see my whiteboard, just a plain white. Okay.
Yes,
All right.
sir. You can see.
So let me see if I can move this thing. Yeah, we'll move that away. Okay, so what we're talking about, the support and resistance, is that, first of all, we need to understand there are three types of movements in the stock market. First, there is an uptrend. Second, there is a downtrend. And third, there is a sideways or a consolidation move. Okay, so the uptrend might look something like this. It goes up for a little bit, comes back down, goes up some more, comes back down again, then goes up again. My artistic skills may not be all that great, but you might see something like this, All right, so this indicates that the market is an uptrend. How do we know that? Well, of course, the direction is up, generally, when you look at it with your eyes. But there's another factor too. See, when you look at the lows that are here, each of the low parts, see each of the swing, you see these are all swings, okay? Each of the swing, the lows are higher and higher and higher. See, the lows are higher, higher, and higher. And then look at the highs. They're also higher, 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 and higher, okay? Now, what would the downtrend look like? Well, of course, the downtrend will be the opposite of that, where the highs are lower and the lows are lower. The highs are lower and the lows are lower. Okay, lower highs and lower lows, lower highs and lower lows. This is exactly what will happen on a downtrend. Okay, so look at the lows. See, the lows are getting lower each time. Okay, they're lower and lower. The highs are lower, lower, lower. So basically that shows a downtrend. Okay, then the sideways move or the sideways market will definitely be somewhat like this. Okay, it may be in different ways. It will wave up and down, swing up and down. Okay, so it looks like the price is going nowhere. Now, this movement might last for a few days to a few weeks, and for some stocks, it might go for months. And even these swings that we're talking about, it might take either a few days or weeks it could take for each swing. Sometimes it could happen in one day where there's a really bullish move up, okay? All right, so what we're going to do is, see, when this moves up here, why doesn't the price go up any further? That's because this is a point of resistance, okay? This is a point of resistance. Why doesn't this continue moving up this price straight up? Instead, it came down. Why? Because it faced resistance right here, okay? And then when this price came down here, why didn't it go down further and rather it went up? Well, because this stock found support right there. Here is a level of support, and here is the level of resistance, okay? Level of resistance and level of support. Okay, all right. And then here, same thing we have here. Well, let's see what happened to my drawing tool. Here it is. Okay, and on the sideways market or the range market, some people call it consolidation. Okay, so when the market is consolidating, something similar happens. See, it comes up to this level. Why doesn't it go higher? Well, it's facing a resistance. See, there's a resistance right there. All right, there's a resistance. There's resistance. Why doesn't it go further below? Well, because there is a support right here. There is a support. Okay, but you might have noticed that the resistance, all right, is not all at the same exact price. The support is not all at the exact same price, but rather it is an area of value where it is doing that. I'll show you on the chart. Okay. All right. Anyone have questions about what I shared so far? That much?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
If there is, please be free to just jump in and ask the questions. All right. So now let's look at a live chart right now. It's not live. The market is closed, but so I've taken out all of the lines from this. So see what you want to look for when you're looking for areas of resistance and support is this. Okay, you want to look at which one is the most recent one. Like for example, let's say we're trading right here and we're on today or this week. This is a weekly. Let me go to the daily. The daily, I'll have to adjust it a little bit to make it more visible. Here we are. Okay, so we're looking at the daily chart. And so today it kept going down, right? It kept going down. The last several days, it's been going down. Federal Bank. Okay, it had gone up. It was a nice bullish move in one day. Look what happened here. In one day, okay, it opened at this point and it went to this high level, 12%, and then it closed here at 10.81. Okay, the actual move from open to close would be 7.14. Pretty nice move on that stock. Okay, that happened in one day, but then 1, 2, 3, 4 days it reversed and it came back down. Okay, so now what do I do with this? Okay, so I want to share something. Please don't look too much at the colors. Sometimes people say everything is in the red, everything is in the red, or things are looking green. Be careful about that, because what you really want to look at is the charts. Okay, so if you're in a trade in Federal Bank right now, what should you do? Should you panic? You know, what should you do? Should you jump ship? Should you sell and get out? What should you do? Well, what we want to do is we want to draw lines of resistance and support. Okay, so how do we do that? Number one, look for the most recent point of support, most recent point of support and resistance. Okay, like for example, right here, see this price had gone up right here and it tried to go up here again. It started going back down. See some resistance there, and it tried to go back down here. It didn't do it. It stopped right there. Now look to the left. See to the left. See that same point? I'm going to draw a line using this horizontal line tool. Okay, so this is where it looks like it would not allow it to go down further. So I drew a line right there. I place a black line right there. Look further back. So this is the most recent level for support and resistance. Okay, now what you want to do is look at the frequency. So there's one place, 1 point, 2, 3, 4, 5 different places already where it has faced, this acted as resistance. Okay, so here it acted as support, but then all these places it acted as resistance. Now again, you might be thinking, where do you exactly place it? Do you place it right up here? Do you place it right down here? Because it's all at different price points. Okay, So how do you know which is the exact point of resistance? Well, it's not a particular point, rather it's an area. Okay, it's not a particular point, it's rather an area. So basically, so it's an area of value. So I'm going to use this rectangular tool. I don't use this tool very much, but I'm going to use that to demonstrate what I mean. Okay, now if we do it, I'm sorry. Okay. All right, let me pull that up a little bit more. Right there, yeah. Okay, so if you look there, when you draw it like this, it makes sense. See, it's a particular area. So the price goes up to that area, finds resistance and comes down, and then it tries to go up to that area, finds resistance, comes down, goes up to that area, not the particular price point, but an area. It comes down, finds resistance. Again, it finds resistance, comes down. And here, what about this? Should we draw another line here? Well, we could, but what we're looking for is a major area of support and resistance. Okay, what is major and minor? Well, the major ones will have more places where it will touch or come to that area. So this might not be a major point. All right, so what does this mean? If you're in a trade right here, you were on a bullish run that day, or maybe several days. Let's say you got into the market on Federal Bank on the 20th of October. There was a bullish move and you were happy about that. The next day, it was more bullish and went up. Maybe you purchased a few more shares, and the next day, it rewarded you even more and it went up. So that much, let's see. If you entered like, like about, see, this is a point, this particular candle here, this candle is a place where I would enter, because this is where it looks like it has that right type of candle for me to get into it. All right, look at that, 16.9%. That's a nice profit level just within a few days. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So within about 6 or 7 days, that's a pretty good move of 16%, not bad, right? But then all of a sudden it starts moving down. So what do? Well, you draw this point of support and resistance, and you will see that the price, how low can this come? Well, the lowest it may come is down to this particular area, you see? So if you entered here, there's a risk of it coming back down here. But if you entered anywhere here, you saw this nice bullish move and you entered here, then even if it goes down, when it comes to this area, there's a high chance that it will find support and go back up again. So if you're in Federal Bank, you may not need to fear, but what you do need to do is keep looking at the charts once a day at least and see how far it has come. Look at the daily chart and see how far it has come, okay? Back to this level of support, okay? Now, if it finds support, then it would go up if it respects that. If not, it can go down. So we cannot predict the future, but maybe about 60, 70% or 80% of the time, it will respect this level and go back up again, okay? All right, I'm going to look at another stock right now. Let's see, Ashok Leyland. I had another one in mind that, okay, 1 minute. My internet is not that fast. That's why it's taking forever to load this. Yeah, Coal India, that's it. Coal India was the one I think that I was looking forward to. Yes, here it is. Let me get rid of these lines here. Those are channel patterns. We'll teach that at another time. But let's just look at the support and resistance now, okay? So let's say that you're in a trade right here on Coal India, and hopefully you didn't enter right here where you went up and then came back down again. So what can we expect, okay? What can we expect tomorrow? and Monday. Okay, always remember, we're not prophesying, we're just looking at higher probability. Okay, here's a point where if you look for, see, it's just going down and it looks like it could keep going down further. All right, but we look at the most recent point of support resistance. Here it is right here, once. Okay, there's twice, and this also would be that particular area if you look at the area itself. So first I'm going to draw the line, actual line itself. Okay, and then if we want, we can look at the area if needed. So then I'm just going to draw that line. Look there for a minute, and then look what happens when you go back in history. Okay, I want you to see this. When you draw this line, and we're going to scroll back. Okay, you see this point? Okay, it's respecting that the same line or the same area becomes a support. Right here, it was resistance. Right here, it was resistance. Okay, and right here, it was support. And does it show any further history? I think that's about it. Okay, so what does this mean? Well, this means that if I'm in a trade right now, I can look forward to this price coming down even further, maybe to this level of 165. Okay, will it be that exact place? Well, not necessarily. Let's take that rectangle tool and let's see what it would look like right here. I'm going to take this rectangle tool and let's draw it according to that. All right, that didn't work. Let me try it again. And as I said, I don't use this very often. This particular rectangular tool, this drawing tool, I don't use it much, but okay, here we are. Yeah, so if I take something like this, I could say that is the area of support and resistance. Okay, so what does this mean? Well, that means that this coal India can continue going down, and somewhere in this level, it will find support and it will continue moving back up again. All right. Now, maybe I would say maybe about 70% chance that it will go back up again. Okay. Then there's probably a 30–40% chance that it could go back down further. Okay, there is a chance, but the higher probability is that it will find support and go up. So if I'm in a trade like this, if you look on the chart, you can kind of still your fears by looking at the chart. Okay. Now, let's say that it finds support and it starts moving up. Okay, it finds support here and the price begins to move up. Then what can we expect? Well, let's see. What are other areas of support and resistance that this stock has faced? Well, what do we do? What would we learn? Look for the most recent level right here. And then second, we need to see if it is frequent. Okay, so we go back to the history and see, does this line or does this area get respected? Well, if it is an area, it would get respected right here. See, there it is right there. Okay, so now I'll draw the other rectangular tool and I'll show you what it would look like if we draw that. There we go. Okay, if you look at it as an area, so there's a resistance here, it wouldn't go back up. There's a support here, support there. So there's once, twice, 4 times, 5 times. See that? Up to 5 times that resistance was respected. And always remember, so what can I expect? What can I expect from this? Well, what I can expect, the high probability here is that this price will come down here, and in this area, it could find support and start moving back up. And if it does that, if it does move back up, then once it gets to this particular area, okay, it might be like this, it might be swinging up like this. once it comes up to this particular area right here, it could find resistance and go back down again. So what's the benefit of knowing that? Here it is. The benefit is you can take this calculation tool, and if you enter somewhere here, once it finds support, and look at this, you can go all the way up to the resistance point. That's 22%. See, that's 22%, not bad. So what should you do? Well, what you want to do is you want to watch this on a daily basis, coal India, just watch it each day. And then when it comes back down here, you want to see what is happening here. Does it find support or does it just go down as if it didn't even exist? Okay. The higher probability, maybe 60, 70% chance is that it will go back up. Now, when it goes back up, look for a nice reversal right here. The reversal can be several ways where you will find a candle that is a hammer candle or a bullish engulfing candle. Now, if you're not sure what that is, please write that down on a sheet of paper somewhere. A hammer candle and bullish engulfing candle. Bullish engulfing candle. Write those two down. And then in our TradingView YouTube channel, we have a particular lesson on the candlestick patterns. You can look that up, okay, and you can learn what that means. I won't take the time to talk about that. So basically, you can look to see what happens in this range or in this area, and then if it retraces and starts moving back up, see, at that point, you can enter a trade like right here. You know, imagine it went down here and bounced up. So once you realize it is bouncing up, then you can enter the trade. You could probably put a stop loss somewhere at 200.70. See that? See that? And you're looking at gaining a pretty good amount right there. Okay, I think I used the wrong tool. That wasn't the tool I was supposed to use. Here it is. Okay, let's say that it retraces and it goes back up into this area. Look at that, nice 20%. 20%. How long will it take? I don't know. In this situation, it took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, about 15 days or something. But on the way up, it took less number of days because see these nice, long, big, strong, bullish candles. Okay, so this is a pure swing trade, but you need to wait until this reverses. Okay, why? Why can't you get in right here? Well, if you get in right here, like tomorrow morning, just jump in. Well, as I said, there's a chance that this could continue going back down. So you want to first wait until it retraces. Okay, you don't want to be chasing the stock. You want to wait for it to come to you. You don't want to chase the price. Wait for it to come to you, to your setup. So here's a setup that you have in mind. You plan it out. Remember, plan your trades and trade your plan. Okay, stick to that. So if this is something you're interested, well, write down Coal India, put it on your watch list, and look and draw these lines and these areas and look carefully to see if this is going to retrace. Maybe 60 or 70% chance it will. And if it does retrace and you find that nice green candle, then enter there and put your stop loss somewhere within here, maybe 199.85, 200. 200 is a good point because often the whole numbers of 200, there's very often there's a resistance at that level. So, you know, so you can look at maybe 18 to 20% profit right there, probably within the next 2 weeks. Something like that, okay? 1 or 2 weeks, depending on how bullish everything turns. All right. Okay, so one of the things that I do is I take these charts and I go further up and I draw several lines. And you might have seen that, okay? So I draw several lines. Here's one right there. I would draw that, okay? And then I would look back at the history and I say, well, here it is, 1, 2, 3 places that this was respected as a support and resistance level. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Are there any further in the history in the further back? Let's see. Let me find out. No, I think that's it, unless my my internet is just slowing down. I'm not sure. All right. So that's no problem right there. Okay. So that's one level that I would draw. All right. How about another level, right? Here's another one that is recent, but frequent. Here it is, 1, 2, 3. So you're looking for minimum of 2 or 3, right? 2 or 3 right there. Okay. And if I was drawing the rectangular tool as a range, as an area, this particular one right here would also fall into that support and resistance area. Okay. And then I would go further up. I would keep drawing. I would keep drawing. Look at this. So here's one. Let's see if this is, this one would be valid. Yeah, you could place that as a separate one, all right, because you see several points that it's touching. So you could take that as a separate one and say, okay, here is another level if you want. All right. So basically you can keep doing this, but you want to make it to a point where you don't want so many lines that can become confusing. You don't want to do that either. Okay. Now here's one little tip that I want to give you. See, we talk about major and minor areas of resistance, support and resistance. Well, some of these will be respected at several different time frames. Okay, I'm going to draw another one right here that seems to be quite frequent. Here it is. All right, so we're on the daily chart. Let me switch to the weekly chart and look what happens at the weekly chart. Okay, the weekly chart, it will look a little bit different, but look at this. Look at this. Same lines that was drawn before. Okay, in the weekly, see the areas, the area that we drew, it's still there, and you can see the same level of resistance right here. And in the weekly chart, you see the lines that we drew, same areas of resistance. So you see this as an area. Okay, and you can keep drawing. And this might be the all-time high. So what I do is I put a line there, and I put all-time high right there. And I've already created a template for that for myself. But yeah, I do that there, and then I just lock it in. Okay, so so there's a lot of resistance on the way up for this particular stock. So I would draw several of those that are very recent and frequent. I would draw those and keep my eyes out, keep my eyes open for those levels. Like here's another level. Okay, you keep my eyes open for those levels and be ready. Ready for what? Well, ready for the stock to either reverse like this or for it to consolidate like this. See, look at that. So it finds this level of support, I mean resistance, and it's consolidating, going up and down. It's trying to push through that, right? Normally, if it tries to push it, maybe 4 or 5 times, there's a chance it could get pushed up even further. Okay, right now it was on a downtrend. Look at the 20-day moving average in the blue, and the red is the 60-day moving average. So when the 20-day moving average is lower than the 60-day moving average, it's a downtrend. Okay, but look what happened here a few weeks ago. Okay, that was on that was in September. Okay, in September, close to a month ago, it's the 20-day moving average crossed over, see, above the 60-day moving average. Nice, see that? Okay, so let's say you entered a trade right here. But the problem is, as soon as you enter, you'll see the price dropping even further because of this support level or the support area. But then the probability of it going up is even higher. Why? Well, one reason is the support and resistance that we looked at here. Second reason is this 20-day moving average going above the 60-day moving average. Okay, so those are some of the main things that I want to share. And then after that, I think somebody has a question for, okay, not a question, somebody has to go. All right.
Actually, Pastor, if you have just 2 minutes, maybe I can just ask you.
Yes, please do. Is it on the chart? Should I keep the chart open?
Yeah, that's fine. I just wanted to ask whether, who or what determines the support and resistance. Is it just collectively the market that determines the price, or I've read about the upper circuit and lower circuit. Does that influence the support and resistance levels?
Okay. So the support and resistance levels are areas of, uh, for some people call it the psychology. Some people call it the memory of the market. It's hard to tell. Okay. Who decides that? It's not a particular person or anything, but it seems like, see, the market itself, meaning millions of traders are out there, seems to have a collective mindset. And it's hard to explain that, and it's hard to understand that. How is it that a particular price point that found resistance at a certain level, there was resistance a few years back, sometimes up to 8 to 10 years back, there's resistance. How does that work? It's hard to tell. Okay.
Okay.
People have many guesses, but it's hard to tell why or how.
So the upper circuit, lower circuit has nothing to do with it?
No, not necessarily.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I did have one more doubt. I can't remember it right now.
Okay. Yeah, try to write down doubts that you have. Try to write down. So, but always remember, open the chart.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So the thing is, you've taught us to check the charts and draw these lines of resistance and support. So all this we're supposed to do before we buy the stock, right? Now, what if
Exactly.
now we've already gone and bought it, and
Before.
then
But even if you bought it, like for example, if you're already in coal India, okay, it's still good to look at the chart, open it up, and look at the areas of support and resistance so that, let's say you're already in coal India, right? And
Yeah.
then you entered right here and you were really happy because it was moving up, and it's like, wow, I made the right choice. Because see, all of these, look at this. Look at this candle right here. That is a hammer candle.
yeah,
And so you look at that and say, okay, that's very bullish. It's a bullish sign. Okay, so you enter right there. And this is like, looks like a nice, big, strong, engulfing candle. That looks good. Now this one here is a doji, that's an indecision candle. Okay. But then fine, you stay there. Let's see what the decision is. The next day, well, this doesn't look good. But anyway, you stay in it because it closed higher. And this also continued higher. But then all of a sudden it starts moving down. See,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4 weeks it's been going down.
Mm.
It's a weekly chart. 4 weeks it's been going down. What do? And a lot of people would panic and just get out. Okay, you can get out, or you can look clearly at the chart and draw the levels of support and resistance or the areas of support and resistance. And well, what I would do, I would wait to this area and see what happens. If it respects it and goes up, then I'll stay in it. If not, if it moves down, I'll get out. See,
So maybe you can keep a stop loss just below this area.
exactly. You can put a stop loss below that area, maybe like right here, 153 or 155, somewhere around that point, you can keep a stop loss, because the chance of it coming down there to that far is less. Okay. Now, if it does come down that far, well, you need to be willing to take the loss and consider it part of your market tuition that we're paying to the market to learn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am enjoying doing this, Buster.
Yes.
And the last couple of days have been really frustrating because when
Yeah.
it's all going up, everyone's happy, but when it's going down, it just feels very terrifying. What's happening? Am I going to lose all my money? So
Yeah. Keep your eyes on the chart. That's what I want
okay,
to say. Keep it on,
okay,
because see, it's like driving at night in the dark, and let's say it's raining heavily and it's at night and you're driving in the hills. That's a bad way to drive. I mean, it's dangerous, right? You can't, the visibility is so low. But let's say that it wasn't raining and that it's bright daylight out there, and you are in the mountains. So you feel much more confidence because you can see you can know what to expect. Okay.
Okay.
But at the darkness, you can't see anything, you don't know what to expect. So when you only look at the numbers, uh, I I connect that with being in the darkness and raining heavily and driving on the mountains. It's very tough. But
Okay.
but if you're opening up the charts and you're looking at something like this, oh man, you feel much more confident.
Understood.
But if it goes down, don't get upset. It's like, well,
Yes.
that's how it goes. That's, you consider that the 30% or 40% chance of it going down. But, 70%, it's going to go up.
So that's when you second guess yourself. Oh, I shouldn't have. Maybe I did something wrong, and maybe I didn't read the charts well enough.
No, yeah. What you do is you say, oh, that was the 30%. Okay, leave it, get out. See? And so that you kind of, you have to psych yourself out.
Right.
Yeah. Good.
Okay, Pastor. I'm sorry, I have to leave now.
No problem. No
So
problem.
I'll catch up with
Hope I
you
can put the
later.
video.
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Anyone else? Others have questions about the support and resistance levels, how to draw them, what to do with them, how to analyze them, things like that.
Hello, sir.
Yes, Jonathan.
Yeah, so as you were explaining, you told about us calculating the 30%, I mean, that chart.
Yeah.
And finally, the other day I was in this share with Federal Bank, where it had a very uppish, just before the uppish movement, I had bought it.
Yeah.
And
Good.
by 96 or 95, I think that was actually, the market cap was 98, where it was supposed to happen. And then by 96,
Where did you
I
enter?
sold
Do
it.
you remember?
I entered at 84.
84
or 85.
Okay.
85, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was almost an 8% of, I guess, 8 to 9% of profit right there.
Right.
And hello.
Yes.
Yeah. So the thing, then I saw that it was having a small resistance for a day or two, and then I sold it. And right after that, it went off to another bullish of up to 105.
Yeah.
If I'm not wrong. So how do we? When do we understand that? Or we can't prophesy, but have an idea of when it will stop or when it will come down.
Okay. See, look at Federal Bank. Let's look at the history and see where his all-time high is, approximately. I'm going to go to the weekly chart for that. It'll be easier to find it. Yeah. Here's a weekly chart. And I think the all-time high is right over here. Let me just write that down. Let me draw that here, that line. And to answer your question, Jonathan, this might be a good way to answer that. Let's see. Here is the all-time high. And let me lock it in. All right, here we go. All right. So you're in this trade now. And I'm going to draw a few more levels, areas of resistance and support that I find that are important. I can even go to that daily. Let me go to the daily chart for this. Yeah. Okay, here we are. Look at this. Okay, so here's a major area of support and resistance. Okay, and then here is another major area of support and resistance right there. That's an area of resistance as well. So to answer your question, what can we expect? Okay, now also on the downside, let me draw the resistance on the downside here, like right here. And then one more, if I could go a little further here, right there. Okay, so Jonathan, now you probably entered somewhere around here. This might be your entry. Let me rename that as entry. I've put all that in there, by the way, as a template. All right, so let's say you entered right there, and you were, let's look at it more clearly. Okay, so you entered at this level, and you started seeing this bullish sign, couple of days of bearishness, but then it went up again. And so what can you expect? Well, this is what I would do. Here it is. See this level of this support resistance level line? Okay, I would take this, and sometimes you can even rename it. You can name it like that, SR. Let's see, I think I have it when I wrote SR. Yeah. I mean, we don't need that, but support resistance. Okay. See, so this is an area, Federal Bank, it could right here, when it comes to this range, okay, it could go a little further down the line, and then it would shoot back up again. See, you will find support right here. It will find support and move back up. Maybe 70% chance that it will go back up. Now there's a 30% chance it may go back down. So what do you want to do? Do you want to stay in it until you get to the all-time high of 127? Well, that's up to you if you want to spend that much time waiting, okay? Or you can get in like something like this. If somebody who is not in the trade, now you already exited, right? You've already exited. So Jonathan, I think you exited already. So
Yes, sir.
somebody who is not in the trade, okay, what I would do is I would wait until it comes down to this level and retrace and go back up. As soon as it retraces and go back up, I see a bullish candle, then I would enter somewhere around this place, okay, or a little bit higher, and then I would enter and I would try to take about 11% profit. See, 11.52 right there. See, I would take that 11% profit and get out at this level of resistance. I would get out, okay? Because what will happen at this level of resistance? Hard to tell. Okay, there's a 30% chance that that it could, what? It could go back down. Okay, but look at the moving averages. Okay, it has crossed above. The 20-day is higher than the 60-day. So there's a chance that it will continue going up. And will it break through this? Well, there's a chance it can. But you have to watch and observe what happens. Sometimes it will consolidate and go sideways like this. Okay, sometimes it may find resistance and come back down here. Okay, and you can even short this stock and make 11% going down by selling first and buying it down here. Okay, you could do that as well, but that may be only for the day traders. Okay, so basically what you do is you just go, you get out right here. Now, if it continues to go up, then you can get into it again. All right. Does that help, Jonathan?
Yes, sir. Thank you. That does help. And another question was, as you told, it might consolidate. So, or when do we make the purchase? When we see a moment or right before the moment? I was lucky enough to get, purchased right before the moment. The other one, when it was just consolidating and just before it shoot up.
Yeah, and we want to get to a point where instead of saying I was lucky at that point, you want to get to a point where you'll be able to say that, oh, okay, my guess was right. Okay, my probability, was accurate, or my prediction was accurate, rather than saying you want to get to that level. But if you're a person who constantly checks the charts, you'll be able to change your words later and say it like that. So your question was, all right, how do we know, right, how long it's going to consolidate, if it's consolidating at all? How do we know that? Well, look here. See this? This is consolidation. It's not going anywhere. See that? It's just been up and down, up and down. So how do we know? Well, two things. One, you look at the moving averages. See, look at the moving average here. Look what's happening. The 20 and the 60 up and down, nothing for sure, nothing certain. See that? There's no certainty right there. At one point it's up, one point is down. See, it's just no certainty. But look at what happened here. There's like a clear breakout. And the distance between these two continues to increase. So the bullishness seems to be higher. So the probability is higher. Maybe there is a 70% chance that this SR level becomes a place where it will find support. There's probably a good 70 or 80% chance it will move up. So what do you do if you are stuck here? Okay, should you sell and get out and escape? Or should you stay with it. Well, if it's going sideways like this, I will exit. Now, if you see a chart that is like this and you have not entered it, I would stay away. But I may look for some positive clues to enter. Here are two. One, moving averages, the 20 above the 60. Second one is the two candles that look really good. Here's one. This is a hammer pattern. And then, of course, this is a nice big, it's hard to name this, but maybe it's more like a, bullish engulfing pattern. So these two are very good positive candles that would mean, for me, I would enter at that point when I see that. Okay. Jonathan, is that clear?
Yes, sir, it's clear.
Okay. So if your question is about when to enter, yes, look for some indicators like the moving averages and the type of candlesticks. Okay, look for that. And also you can look for the trend. See the trend? The lows are higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, and the highs are higher and higher and higher and higher. See, that's a trend. But then this looks like a reversal. So you could get scared and just kind of panic and get out. Or instead of panicking, you can look at this, draw the chart carefully, the lines carefully, and look at this and find some comfort and say, well, maybe not. I don't need to get scared. This is a daily chart. Let's see what happens tomorrow, Friday. Okay. Now, Fridays are, not very good days for trading, but then, we'll see what happens Friday and Monday. Okay. And if it reverses, that might be a good entry. All right.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right. Anyone else? Beryl, any questions that you would like to ask, Beryl? Should you?
Yeah, sir, today's class was so meaningful. Why? Because I was planning to sell the the share of Federal Bank today. I thought of selling it, but I couldn't. Okay, so thank you that your class really made me to wait for some more time and see the trend. And
Yeah.
sir, I find it difficult. Now these days, I am trying to learn how to draw the line of resistance.
Yeah.
My question is, if does drawing lines of resistance and support change from person to person? When you draw, you have one particular line, or when I draw, because because it's difficult to find to draw a line. I find it difficult, to draw a line. Okay, I got that, what you taught me today.
Yeah.
Two things you taught. One is recent.
Yeah.
That resistant point
And
frequent.
frequent.
Frequent. Yeah, these two I got it, but I wanted to learn that. Okay, once again I will see your video and then
Sure.
try to learn. And if any questions come, and then I will come back.
Good. See right here. See that right there? There's a support right there. The
Yeah.
price, it was trying to go down, found support, and went up. And if you
Okay.
look at that same level, see, that's the most recent one. Look at the same level and the area.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, yeah.
See that? That's pretty good. 2 or 3 is good. But if you go further back, the same level, look at this. More. You're finding more resistance right there. See that? Resistance, resistance, resistance. Okay.
Yeah.
It continues. And so now, why is it like that? I don't know. It just seems to be the psychology of the market,
Oh, yeah.
It's almost like asking, why is water wet? Okay. Good. Yeah, I really want to encourage you, open the charts, keep opening the charts, draw levels of support and resistance, and maybe next month we'll talk about other types of channel patterns, triangle patterns, and things like that. But today, just support and resistance. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you
Good.
so much. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you. God bless you. And if there's no further questions, and if you do have further questions, please feel free to ask that in the group. And you can even ask questions on the YouTube channel, where after I place this up on the, after I upload this to the channel, you can ask questions there also. And of course, you can ask to me directly, that's also fine, but it's better if it's asked in the group. Okay, anyone else? Last question. Okay, so yeah, please do watch these videos. If you can, press like, share it, subscribe, and do all of those types of things. And if you know anyone who is learning or who would like to learn, please share my link with them. You might say, why should you share my link? Well, because I'm doing this for free, not charging people for this. And it really takes a lot of my time. Daily, it takes some time. And when you take the whole week, it does take a bit of time to do this. But I benefit because the more I teach, the more I learn.
Yes.
And I've been doing the day trades for 2 months now. And let's see, I will make a calculation after tomorrow how I did this month. September, it was like a break even, but a break even means loss for day trades. And this month, let's see what happens. I've had some good moves, but I want to day trade for at least 6 months before I teach it. At least 6 months or 9 months or something before I teach it. I don't want to jump in and teach right now because I'm learning a lot of new things. It's like a totally different perspective. Same techniques are used there, but it's a totally different level. It's kind of a different kind of a feel. There's a lot of difference, and I can share that later on. All right. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Have a wonderful evening. God bless you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Beryl. Thank you, Jonathan and Shiju.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, Beryl, you have a
Thank you,
question?
sir. Thank you.
You're welcome, Jonathan. Beryl, you have a question or just saying bye?
I just said thank you and accepting, I guess.
I don't have a question.
Okay. All right. Have a good night then. Bye now.
Yeah, thank you. Bye.
Thanks, sir.
Good night, sir.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night.